Well, listen, a lot of people say they can't do anything. They're just a tiny little guy and can't do anything. Well, Buckminster Fuller was a tiny little guy and he changed the world. And when I interviewed him and talked to him about it, he says, you know, you've got to start to think of yourself as a trim tab. And at that moment, I had no idea what the heck is a trim tab. And what he did was very clear. He showed me on a board. He says, look, you know, here's a ship like this, and it sort of goes like this. And then he says, what you got on the back of that thing is a big rudder, and that turns the boat. But what you really don't understand, Marshall, is that under that, the very small part right down in here is a thing called a trim tab. And what that means right here, this creates a vacuum, which then moves this, which then moves the big ship. And when you move the big ship, you know, you make a big difference. But you start basically, you know, doing it from that little spot. And he says, what that is, you watch it and you can just move that and the whole thing turns. And so what we've got now is every single person has the ability to be a trim tab. You can do it if you want to. So what does it take? It takes you to think and be impeccable in your integrity, impeccable in what you do, and look at the opportunities. Because as a little tiny trim tab, you can make a difference. So don't stand there and be impotent. You are as important as anybody else, and you can do what he did. Fullerenes came as a result of Bucky. Bucky designed it, created it. They didn't even find it until 13 years after his death. They had to name it after him. Why? It's now called a Buckminster Fullerene. They call it Bucky balls for short. He just did it as a tiny little guy with no promotion. He just did it. So you just need to stay impeccable, figure out what you want to do, figure out how you're going to leverage it, and do it. I learned the word comprehensivist from Buckminster Fuller. He was interested in everything. He said the bigger the picture, the more accurate the predictions. So I've done my whole life working towards being the most comprehensive thinker I can be, because the better my thinking, the better the outcome. What can I do for you?